We've seen a number of these executive orders presented with great flourish by the new president. We've talked about how sharp the teeth are on a lot of them. When you look at this one in particular, help us understand the gravity of it. What can it do? What changes will it make?
Well, it is a big bite, David, without question. But I think people have to keep in mind when you're looking at undoing regulations, an executive order cannot undo a regulation. You really have to do a thoughtful and public process to design a new rule that you think is scientifically solid as well as legally solid. So while it's a big bite and it sends a big signal that's frankly embarrassing, I think, to the U.S. internationally, it really will have no effect on the big rules that the prior administration did, because those rules are legally solid, they're scientifically credible, and it's going to be a lot of years and a lot of litigation before those rules are undone.
You heard his justification there in those comments. He talked about energy, he talked about production, he talked about job creation. And I want to ask you, as somebody who oversaw this agency, how you, an administrator, goes about balancing the science, the need for these regulations with the economics. How much thought goes into that?
Well, David, I don't think it is a balance. I think the United States and every family here wants to have both a strong economy and a really healthy environment. And that's what we sought with these rules. We didn't do them in a vacuum or in a closet. We didn't make sweeping announcements. We worked hard for 4 years. We worked with the utilities. We worked with all of the folks that we needed who had a stake in this process and this outcome. And we got millions of comments. And it's my view that the United States expects EPA not just to look at its duties relative to climate change and clean air and clean water, but to look at the best way to do that as you move the economy forward. It was critically important to the president, clearly at a time when he took over, which was in such dire economic consequences. And we did do our job thoroughly. When you look at it, he might sign a piece of paper that talks about an energy revolution. But as you, I think, and I know, the business community knows as well, we are moving towards a low-carbon future already. For example, the Clean Power Plan, even if you took it away, it's not going to have any difference because the energy is already transitioning to less emitting natural gas and eventually and now towards renewable energy. That's where the jobs are, energy efficiency jobs. The clean energy is today and it's the future. And I think the challenge for this president is that he's not going to bring it back with signing an order. He has to recognize that that is the future, and the business community, utilities have already placed their investment bets.